You are listening to ESPN Cricinfo.
Hello, this is ESPNcricinfo, the podcast. I am Raunak Kapoor in the astute company of senior editor Gaurav Kalra. Gaurav, what's up?
Hi Raunak, it's good to be here. I know you said astute with a little lilt in your voice, but I'll let that pass.
Okay, what we will not let pass is the India-Sri Lanka first test, and we are getting together and chatting about it right after a pulsating final session in what we thought would be a damn screw of a test because of the weather and all. And the first question I ask you, Gaurav, 75 for 7, surely Virat Kohli shouldn't have gone for that 100 and looked to declare a little earlier, given himself maybe 20 minutes, who knows, India could have been 1-0 up.
Yes, that is one of the great things about cricket. In hindsight, everything works out exactly like you want it to. But I think in this scenario, Virat Kohli probably had a number in mind, and then you get attracted to the idea of the milestone. You remember, Raunak, they did exactly this when Karun Nair was nearing his triple 100 in that game in Chennai.
But that was a series that was won.
That was a series that was won, and perhaps in this situation, they didn't think that there was going to be a result on the table.
Okay, let me put it this way. If this was any other team, maybe he could have considered differently. But with 2 tests to go and Sri Lanka, was it a calculated call? Let's not go 1-0 down. If this is the 3rd test and we were 0-0, maybe we would have seen something different.
Maybe could have seen something different. But I think that in hindsight, he will regret this decision, because this is a team that naturally goes after wins, and knowing that Sri Lanka have this fragility in their top order batting, as was exposed, and the fact that light comes in, I think Kohli will look back on this and maybe think that he should have gone after the bowling a little bit earlier, tried to get that 100 and then get in. But maybe they'll look at it as a miscalculation.
You know, when you lose so much play on the first 2 days, there shouldn't even be tea breaks. Surely cricket needs to rethink this. You have drinks breaks, it's nice and cool. You're going to lose 15 overs when the light fades.
I think cricket needs to rethink a lot of things. They need to rethink this business of substitutes and physios coming in towards the end. Then the light meters and being so rigid about it.
And it's convenient that the umpires try and get the game on in the last 1 hour. For 4 days, they allowed an over rate of 12 to just pass.
Yes.
Quite a shame. Anyway, as it turns out, it's a 0-0 and the action will carry forward in 2 tests. And, well, with the way Sri Lanka batted, India would be jumping. Will Australia be jumping? Will England be jumping? Ahead of the Ashes, 23rd November, first test at the Gabba in Brisbane. You know, when that Australian squad was announced, I was surprised, Gaurav, that they excluded Glenn Maxwell, who I was surprised when they picked him for the India tour, then played like a proper test batsman, didn't get runs in Bangladesh when no one got runs, and just when I thought he could have been the Ben Stokes of Australia, out he goes of the squad.
Yes, I think, Raunak, what Australia selectors have done is quite unique. I think they've gone for feel and how they are reports about players rather than recent performances so much, because obviously, you know, Maxwell has got 100, 2 or 3 test matches back. But I think in the likes of Bancroft, in Sean Marsh, who they have picked, not on a weight of runs, but on what they are hearing from the Western Australian coach, you know, things like that. So I think the Australian selectors at this time seem to realize that there are a few holes in their team.
Okay, would you have picked Maxwell?
Well, you know, I think on performance, there's no doubt that Maxwell would have made it. But I think in this scenario, they are looking at what will come at Maxwell in the form of Broad and Anderson, and they think that he's inadequate for that challenge.
He's good enough, surely. Yeah. But anyway, they've probably gone with specialist batsmen, as you like it.
And informed batsmen. That's why they've also left out a player who's been scoring runs in Test cricket, but hasn't been making runs in first-class cricket, and they've gone for Bancroft instead. So, you know, there's some thinking, left field thinking going on there.
I'll give you all my wealth, Gaurav, if you can name the England 11. That'll start.
Okay, I'm going to try it, but I don't want your wealth. There isn't a lot of it from what I hear. But I think that there's definitely going to be Stoneman in.
Oh, you're trying the left field names. I thought you'll just start with Cook,
I think Stoneman, because he's been getting runs in the warm-up games.
Right.
Cook will definitely, obviously.
Okay, now you're beginning to worry me, so don't carry on. Because you might name 9 more. Fact remains, Australia strong favourites?
I think so, especially on that first day. If Australia win the toss, decides to put England in, and then absolutely run through them with that amazing seam. That's what I'm looking forward to most.
Right.
Australia's fast bowlers in this Ashes.
I'm going to back England just for the sake of variety, and we will speak again at the end of the week to see how things go.
Yes, and at the end of the week, when you will have transferred your wealth to me as well.
My wealth doesn't take so long to transfer. Thank you, Gaurav Kalra. Pleasure as always. That was senior editor Gaurav Kalra and myself, Raunak Kapoor, bringing you ESPNcricinfo, the podcast. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is ESPN Cricinfo.